it's your girl, Tia Shasha High, the host of Millennial High, where the trend-setting millennial comes for motivation, inspiration, and deep conversation. Today's show is all about entrepreneurship and technology innovation, and I have Kendra Newman.
Hey, Tia.
Hey, in the studio with me, as well as an amazing surprise co-host, Anthony Lower.
Hello, all.
I love it. Kendra is amazing. She is an education technology specialist and chief learning officer for the Community Learning Initiative. Also, later in the show, we will shine a light on our trendsetter musician, Marques Deleon, and his producer is in the house too, Daniel. He creates most of his music solely with an app on his iPhone. It's like, who needs studio time when you have an iPhone, right? Tech innovation at its finest. How about that? A little bit about Millennial High. This show serves as a platform for those who inspire and provoke others to go beyond what they ever thought possible for themselves. So if you have an inspirational, uplifting, thought-provoking message you want to share with the millennials of the world, I want you. Be on the show. Email me at millennialhigh@gmail.com and let's connect. Also, I have a lot of fun things happening this week. There's a happy hour. And it's going to be really fun. So I invite one and all to come out, and to find more information about that, just check out my Facebook page at Millennial High or my IG Millennial High. But first, as always, I like to set the mood for the show. And this morning, I got this really sweet, nice message from someone I've never met before, but they follow me on Facebook, and her name is Maddie, and she was just so sweet and kind. So I want to just dedicate this song to her. I hope she's listening today. But I was like, I wanted to find something that kind of said thank you in a way. And there's this song by Kygo called Here For You. And I just think it's a testament to even everyone in the studio, Kendra and Anthony. I know Anthony, and through Anthony, that's how I know Kendra. And I kind of feel like they always have each other's backs, and Anthony always has my back. And thank you, Maddie, and everyone else who listens for having Millennial High's back. So let's play a little Kygo Here For You. And we are back. For those just tuning in, you are listening to Millennial High on 106.5 FM, and informational. Yeah, that makes sense. An inspirational and informational talk show here on 106.5 FM. And I have Kendra with me in the studio. Hey, Kendra.
Hey there.
And Anthony. Hi, Anthony.
Hey, Tia.
Hey, Tia. I love Anthony so much. I'm so happy that you're co-hosting with me today.
Everyone loves Anthony.
I'm the Kelly to your Regis.
All right.
Hey. I don't want to be Regis.
But Regis was in charge, at least back in the day.
Okay, right back in the day.
Yeah,
All right, that's fine. I'll be Regis 1995 or something. Right, I guess that's what it is. But now I have Kendra Newman here with me in the studio today. She is a phenomenal woman. I know when Anthony first told me about Kendra, I was like, I really want her on my show because she just sounds so great. You're in the STEM fields.
Yes, I am.
And you're completely passionate about everything that you do, right?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah, all over, right?
But everything about education and technology, I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
Very, very passionate.
Tell me a little bit about how you got into the STEM fields. I mean, was that like your major in college, or?
It was my major in college. I switched majors a couple of times. I started out as a math whiz. I love math and I love science. So everybody's like, you should be an engineer. Be an engineer. Be an engineer. So I wasn't sure which field of engineering that I wanted to go into. So I picked electrical, went in, realized that, okay, this is my breadboard. These are some resistors. I'm going to be in a room with a whole bunch of nerds, and I don't want to do that. So I switched to telecommunications management, which has to do with telephones, and they also did networking. So when I started, they were separate. And someone told me at some point, voice and data would be one. And so I thought it would happen next week. and it just started happening. And now we're using voice over IP, and we're using our cell phones and Facebook and Skype, and we're talking, but I was looking for that 20 years ago. I'm so glad I switched my major because I got to see everything from the start, and now I'm seeing it all come to fruition, and I know the basics of that.
So then moving forward, I know that you and Anthony know each other at some point in time. Is there a story with that?
I remember the first time I saw Kendra was I was working at Temple University, and I went into this office where some folks that had something to do with something IT were, and Kendra was basically stuck in the corner. And I would say hello to her, and then we would come and go. And I could just tell by interaction that she had it going on, that this was someone who could do things, who could go somewhere, who could be a leader. But it wasn't happening in that room.
No. I had so much experience with networks, and I was actually building networks. And then I realized I was a tech chick, but I didn't have any business skills. So I moved over to the technology planning group, which I thought was a really good idea, but I was about to lose all of my tech skills because all they were doing were writing plans. And so I just decided to make it work for me, and I started learning about project management and the Project Management Institute and their certifications, and started adding that to my repertoire of things that I could do.
Wow.
And they kept me just at the desk for tech. So what I started to do is just find out how I could make this work for me. So the plans that I built for technology, then I asked the guys who were actually implementing those plans if I could come and help set up.
Oh, wow.
So I started
look at you.
doing that. So when Anthony saw me in the corner, I was like, what are you doing? Can I go with you? What are you teaching? What are you doing? I need to learn that too. And that's how I got into his group.
Right.
He started speaking for me. He's like, there's this girl in the corner over there, and she could come. Oh, sorry. There's this woman in the corner over there. She should come and work for our web development group. And I was like, I'm all in. So they brought me in for a few projects, but I was still working in the technology planning department. And then from there, I slowly transitioned. And then one day, she's a VP. She was a VP then. She called me in and she said, what do you want to do? And I said, not that. I really want to go over to the web development group.
Yeah.
And she moved me.
So wait, so this driving force that took you from just wanting to know and learn more, what was it? Like, why weren't you just content just doing what you were doing?
I think I was born that way. I've always been nosy. In things. Why doesn't this work? Let me fix it. If a boy was doing something, I wanted to do it too. For how I've told Anthony this story a million times. I've always wanted a remote control car because my cousins who were boys, the ones who were more fun to play with than the girls who were playing with Barbie dolls, they had remote control cars. 3 Christmases I asked for a remote control car, and I got something else. Finally, they realized I want this remote control car, and I got the remote control car, and I just thought boys' toys were more fun.
Yeah.
Even my bike, I didn't want the girls' bike. I wanted the bike, the bar that goes across the top, because I just thought it looked nicer.
Right. Look
and I'm
at
a
you.
I'm a car fiend, so I like cars. I like the things most of the boys like, and so wherever they went, I would follow. So Anthony he had something that I wanted to learn, and I followed him right over to the web app department and said, okay, where can I start? Started with project management.
Nice.
They were overwhelmed. I said, okay, so what can I do here? He says, I'm going to teach you how to make web forms. And from there, it's been kind of history.
Because it was obvious that she had the aptitude.
Right.
And I was flabbergasted that she hadn't already been doing this. That, that it was clear. Look, I can see you. There you are. You can do this. I taught her the basics. She ran with it.
Yeah.
Because...
of course she would run with it. She's Kendra. I mean, this entire story that she's talking about, she has been taking something and running with it.
That was always my point of view, but the group around us wasn't always seeing that. So I was trying to use what little power I had to boost one part of it was selfish. I'm doing all this work. There's someone else who could help. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And the other part is I wanted Kendra to have the boys' toys too.
But anytime someone would give me an opportunity, I took it. So before I came to higher ed, I worked at the Philadelphia airport. as their IT person. I was hired as a software engineer.
Nice.
But I did a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
They had the server in the corner, which had a Linux card and a Novell card. So I
Wow.
learned Linux and Novell because some guys who were working on it were willing to show me. I spent a lot of time in the telecom closet because they allowed me to be there.
Right.
And I was in on the ground floor when you could just call Microsoft up and they would give you pointers and
Oh,
they would
wow.
help you, and it didn't cost anything. So I was learning the back end, the hot fixes
Yeah.
for Microsoft before I even stepped foot in higher education. So I had my hands in everything, and I learned that I was a good trainer. So I decided I'm going to get a master's degree because I'm a single mom. So I dragged my son to college before he made it to kindergarten because I knew I had to support
I love it.
myself
Exactly.
and him.
That's why my daughter's back there right now in the studio with me.
Exactly. Because and they get to see it. So
Yeah.
there is nothing that they can't do because they saw it done. And so I've picked every job that I had based on what he needed. The school system, the family support, because I dragged him all the way to Chicago because I went to DeVry.
Okay.
I was pulled in. I was accepted to Rutgers and a couple other places for engineering. Then I found out I was pregnant. So I went to DeVry because they gave you on-the-job training.
Wow.
There were labs where you actually did the work. I didn't have time to go to school and then go to an internship afterwards.
Exactly. Yep.
So I went into a lab where I actually was building Novell networks in class.
That's
so
amazing.
I learned about it, and then I actually was building them, binding the cards and doing all of that in my classroom. So he was sitting in labs with me, and he says, I need you to be quiet. And he says, okay. So when I get back,
Yeah.
I said, Mommy got an A, Mommy got a B. My mommy got an A because I was quiet.
Right.
And he's just telling everybody,
I love
I've
it.
been very, very good. And that's why my mommy got an A.
Like, I need to take credit for
Yep.
this.
So, and I let him have it, but you know, we did what we needed to do. So in New Jersey, you can't go to a 3-year school because DeVry is year round and get a bachelor's degree. And I'd worked too hard just to take a associate's. So I needed to go to another state where there was a DeVry location to
Wow,
finish.
I never knew that.
And my mother had cancer. She had just passed away, and everybody was like, okay, you don't have any help. My dad's like, just take the associates and and come home. And I said, no, I've come too far, and it's only 10 months, and I'm going out there. And I said, well, what are you going to do? I said, well, if I have to sleep in my car and eat hot dogs, that's what we're going to do. And there was always a way, and we made it. There was a discount daycare for any of the students. It was $65 a week. It was almost everything that I had.
Yeah.
But they saved him lunch because I went to school in the afternoon. So I would stay in the morning with him, and then he'd go to daycare while I went to school, and we'd come home and I'd put him to bed, and I'd go to bed too. And 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I'd get up and do my homework. So
Yeah, I mean, your story is amazing. There are so many women that would just use that as a reason to stop.
but
You
they
know,
need to
as
see
a
that.
reason to keep them down and say, you know what, this is why I can't do it, is because I'm a single mom, and then I just had lost my family. I'm just done. I'm just going to stop. But you kept on persevering.
I think if you stay focused, I kept saying this is not forever. This is just for a little while.
Right.
And if I do this, then I'll never have to depend on anybody else because my son needs me.
Yep.
He has to have a roof over his head. He needs to be able to go to school. He needs to be able to do all of those things. And he didn't ask to come here.
Right.
So I did that hustle. And I really was focused. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. So back to the airport, I decided I couldn't get any days off. There was nothing that I could do. I was a contractor there because I've always lived in New Jersey. So I didn't have the city benefits of training. And they just wanted me to work. So I said, I'm going to get a job where I can get a master's degree. Can't afford another student loan. So I need to go somewhere where the master's degree will be free. And that's how I ended up at Temple. I said, I'm going to become a teacher. I'm going to get my PhD. I'm going to teach. And that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. And instead, I ended up at the Network Operations Center. Got all these tech skills, not enough business. I did technology planning. Then I went over to the web app development group.
Right.
And in between, anytime they needed someone to teach, me, I started teaching with my knees shaking and scared.
But you did it
But
afraid.
I did it afraid.
Yes.
Just do it afraid.
Exactly.
And then at the end, I was like, what was I afraid of? Why didn't I just do this earlier? And it gave me everything that I needed, because I had to roll up my sleeves to do everything to become the director of a college in IT. I did that for 7 years.
Wow.
And now I am doing project management in a project management office, because that was really the only area I hadn't done anything, which is a project management office, because I teach project management.
Right.
I'm PMI certified. And so I teach other people how to become certified. And what we did there was I'm learning from my students. And I really want to be a teacher, but I don't want to do it in a traditional sense.
Right.
What I really want to do is untraditional teaching, so that you can go to your traditional school, but I can give you the alternative learning. Let you see the possibilities.
Let's talk about
what it is.
untraditional teaching. Like, give me an example.
So, I teach for several different organizations. I teach in colleges. Actually, it's community college. But the one that I love the most is my community learning initiative, which is really a one-on-one, each one teach one. I go out and haul people in. You have a skill, you know about finance, come and teach a group of people who are willing to learn. It's free, and it's really each one teach one. So I'm learning, and I'm also teaching. So of course I'm in the technology education field. And so I've been teaching the technology pieces, and other people would come in and do finance. So I went online, and I'm looking at one of my sorors pages, big up to Iota Phi Lambda, which is a business sorority. And they were talking about this group in Chicago who they actually are an innovation center for technology and entrepreneurship. And it's for anyone in the community who wants to learn. Some of their courses are free. Some cost money, but they assume that you know nothing. So you don't have to come in with prerequisites. They give you the prerequisites that you can go out into the world and compete globally with technology. And they ensure, or they encourage entrepreneurship, so that you're really working with yourself and you're competing against yourself. And that company is called Blue 1647.
Yeah, let's talk more about that. So Blue 1647, you are the Chief Learning Officer
for the New Jersey location.
Okay, so then what is that exactly? I know you just want to describe it, but how did you become involved in it? So did you reach out to them, or?
I actually was just following them, looking around, going, this is what I've always wanted to do. For 10 years, I kept telling everybody I'm going to start a school with alternative learning so that people can compete when they get to college. They're already prepared. Or when they get to high school, I want to see young people already being entrepreneurs and having a business.
Exactly.
But I didn't do that afraid. So I was getting my toe in the water, doing the community learning center. I didn't just quit my job and go out and say, I'm going to start teaching this and everybody's going to love it, and that's the way it is. But there's a guy named Emil Cambry. He did exactly that. And the fact is, he's 10 years my junior.
Wow.
He was a professor. I don't know if he wants me to say which college it was, but he was an economics professor. And he was realizing that these students that he had, they're graduating and they can't get jobs and they're not ready. And so he started this entrepreneurial center. And then there were youth. He started teaching a few kids how to code, how to do apps for their phones. And parents start sending their kids. And he needed a place, so they went to Blue Island Avenue. And the building number is 1647.
Oh, I see.
I was so waiting for this really deep
I know,
story about
I get it now. I thought it meant like something,
So they called it Blue 1647, and they're open 7 days a week. That's how many people they have. So they're not just focused on youth. That's where he started.
But this was based in Chicago, right?
It's based in Chicago, and they're not just focused on youth. Now they have several locations in Chicago. They're in several housing developments in Los Angeles,
Wow.
St. Louis, Minnesota, and even in Haiti. There's a lab Haiti that
Wow.
they're doing. So he's looking to expand everywhere. So I just started following him. I just wanted to see what he was doing. And as I was following him,
Cyberstalking.
I was cyberstalking because I'm like, he's doing exactly what I wanted to do.
Yep.
He is braver than I was, and I admire those kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
And he sends me a friend request. And I'm like, okay, he knows that I'm looking. Oh, God, he knows that I'm looking. So I accepted it. And then usually what I do is I sit in the cut because, believe it or not, I am kind of an introvert. And so I just sit in the cut. But I said, he said he wanted to touch 1,000 more places in a year. And I wrote him an email. I texted, I did inbox him and said, we need this in South Jersey. We really need it in the Delaware Valley. And he said, give me a call. And I was like, wow.
Nice.
So I'm like shaking. I give him a call. I tell him what I want to do and how I live in Atlantic County and the casinos are closing up and people don't have skills. And if you didn't work at the casino, people like me drove to Philadelphia every day
Right.
to make a decent wage. And I said, now there's all of this online opportunity. There are possibilities where you could work for yourself and never leave your house.
Yep.
And so I want to expose people to those possibilities. And he started telling me about all of the things that they have. And I said, so what do you offer? He said, we offer the curriculum and we go into churches, community centers, wherever you want us, we can come. You just supply the building and the people. And so we're supplying the building and the people. And I thought it would be easier to get the instructors in. And it hasn't been that easy. So we're looking for instructors. But
And what courses?
so we're teaching a little bit of everything. So the introduction course is really web development. So we're teaching HTML, CSS, which is a cascaded style sheet, and JavaScript. But what I do with my young people, I teach them JavaScript, and then I teach them the difference in the syntax between JavaScript and Python.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that different.
Actually.
It's not that much different.
That's a good idea.
And so they're having fun, but they're learning syntax and they're learning 2 coding languages at
wow.
Yeah.
once. And so they're playing around, but they're really learning.
Where is your location?
Our
exactly?
location is in the metropolis of Mispa, which is in Atlantic County, outside of Mays Landing, about 30 minutes from Atlantic City.
So when are you indexing into Philadelphia?
yeah.
We want to do it as soon as we can.
Hello.
Well, Anthony is on my advisory team, and I wanted to get that pilot going. And we are so ready. We want to
get
do
connection.
Temple.
Well, when you said earlier that all you had to provide was the place and
The
the
place
people.
and the people.
What about the equipment and the technology that the kids need? Or the students need? How does that work for you?
What we did is, as a board, because I'm on the board for the Alfred R. Lundy Center, and we just went and bought computers to do this pilot. And so we're looking to hook up with churches and universities that already have the computers, and we could just end the space, and we could just bring people in.
What are other programs you teach besides the coding aspect? So coding is your number one, but what else would you offer eventually down the line?
Well, we offer what people ask for.
Okay.
And so what they've asked for in our location, we have all these senior citizens that say, we want the basic computer course first.
Yeah.
And then they want to learn how to code. And then we have all of these crafters who want to make Etsy their platform, and they want to elaborate on what they can do in Etsy because they're having problems. So we're just doing a lot of personal computing with that. But we also offer Cisco networking courses. So it's just the introduction, and that's through Blue. So we're teaching the Internet of Things and be your own boss, as well as the basics to networking. So we have those. So of course the Be Your Own Boss in the entrepreneurial class is based on technology.
Right.
However, it applies to any entrepreneurial pursuit that you take on. So we have people who aren't interested in technology who actually come to those classes. The other thing is, when they come to some of our coding classes, you might find that coding is not for you, but you also find the basics of some things that you may like to do. And so I'm also teaching the possibilities. It's always about a possibility. So, okay, you're not a technology person per se, so you won't be building any apps, but you'll be using them.
Right.
And when I do our intros to our classes or our open houses, I always use the iPhone, the smartphone. They did not exist before 2007. Now everybody has one. So technology is going to change your life whether you want to or not. I wouldn't know
what to do without my iPhone.
What did you do without it?
I don't even know. I think about that. I'm like, what?
It took away your need for a digital camera, a video camera, a calendar, everything. All those different things.
God forbid.
Exactly.
A friend.
And now everybody. Speaking of that, we also do that because everybody's using technology. You forget how to interact with people. Or some people, young people, they don't know how to interact with people. So that's why we have hackathons and we have some entrepreneurial classes that show you need to build relationships. You need to do those things. So they're not just doing that. And if you could, can I give the website?
Yes, absolutely. Please, definitely.
So the website for Blue 1647 is just that, www.blue1647.com. You should see all the things that they're doing. And they just had people just come in, volunteer. There's a 1919 program. 1919 is the women's suffrage movement when women got their rights. So this is a women's class. It's an entrepreneurial class.
Nice.
They learn how to do WordPress so that they can build their own website. They're learning everything about entrepreneurship. On top of their technology class. I believe it's a 13-week course. The designer of that course, she is an entrepreneur. She's written a book. Her name is Allison. You'll find out about her if you go to Blue 1647. And
definitely go to Blue 1647.
Yes.
And Allison.
And so now they have a 50-50 class. It's never too late to innovate. It's for people over 50.
I love that. I love this. This is
have
such
the
a great program.
Inventors group. Just a group of inventors that get together and talk about what they do and shepherd somebody else into that program.
Isn't this awesome?
I want to interject because to me, hearing about all this, the Kendra I've known for a long time has found her tribe.
Yes.
Because she's always been such an inspiration, and I've admired her so much because you've always been, I'm going to get over this hill, and then where's the next? Well, that's not too high. That hill's high. I'm going over that hill. And there's always another hill. She's looking for the hill. And it like I said, it's inspirational. I've always admired that in you. So, everyone should strive to be a Kendra. That's what I say.
That sounds good. Thank you, Anthony. And I am going to hold you to the...
It's going to be
Delaware.
It's been recorded.
It's been recorded.
Tia,
He
Anthony,
said it. Oh, that's so amazing.
More instructors. My sensei, because I call him my sensei because he was teaching me.
Oh,
so
that's so good.
he's my sensei. So
sensei.
Classes from the black belt would be awesome, right?
Yes.
Right?
Wax on.
And the way it would be just an awesome thing. So, and the one thing that I love, it's non-traditional learning. So basically they just take experiences and roll it into something that's fun for kids and adults. So it's edutainment.
Yeah. What's the longest, like what's the average time frame for a class?
They can be anywhere from 6 weeks to 13 weeks. Our pilot was 6 weeks.
Is it an hour a class, 90-minute class, 45-minute class?
The kids class was 2 hours, but they don't have a 2-hour attention span.
Right.
So basically what we do is we teach a little and then they play a little. And then we teach a little.
Sounds like our workplace.
But they're learning. And so we took off for the summer after the pilot, and they keep asking me when I see them, Miss Kendra, when is class going to start? When is class going to start?
Wow.
So they're ready. They're ready. And so the adults kept asking, so when are we going to get a class? But I was the only one teaching at the time. So I'm looking for volunteers. And if you have a skill set in technology and you're looking to share with somebody what you know, because it really is each one teach one, just send me an email at jerseyblue1647@gmail.com. I'll be happy to respond to you and put you to work.
And oh my God, this is so amazing. I love this program. I'm so happy you found it and brought it here to Millennial High. Like I'm so in love with it. What else are you doing? Because we have to wrap up just a little bit, but what else are you doing? Do you have any other projects that you have under your belt, since you're always on to the next?
Yes.
Seems like.
So Sensei Anthony said I'm always looking for
Mount
the next
Everest.
hill.
Exactly.
There's Mount Everest right
And
there.
I just think everything you want is outside your comfort zone. So I shared a little bit about my story being a single mom and dragging my son to college before he did kindergarten. And well, he's a graduate of college now, and he just bought a house. I'm so excited for him. Big up to Darren. What I'm doing now is starting my own kind of storytelling. And so I just opened up my own little Instagram called Textures. TECHSYOURS, Textures.
Nice.
So it's a play on words. I have many layers to my life, which has built different textures.
Yeah.
And I'm teaching people how to make text theirs. So make text yours. And you can follow me on Instagram at Textures, TECHSYOURS. Follow me, watch me grow, watch me fall. It's okay, because if I fall, I get up, and it's something that I learned. And I'm trying to cheerlead everyone. Come on, let's do it. It doesn't have to feel good while you're doing it, but when you get to the other side, it really does feel good. And we were just talking about sponsorship. Anthony was a sponsor for me.
Yeah.
I've had other people who have sponsored me who will speak up for you.
Yeah.
In a room that you're not in, and give people good information about you. And so what I want, just like you, he sponsored me to meet you, Tia. And so now we're on the radio because of that sponsorship. And I want to turn around and do the same thing for other people. So you need mentors, you need to be a mentee, and you also need to be a sponsor. Just don't climb the ladder and pull it up.
Right.
Leave it
Always
down for
look
someone else.
around and see who's not at the table and pull up a chair for them.
Exactly.
And invite them to the table.
Absolutely. Because if you're
Anthony's
not at the
great for
table,
that.
you're on the menu, right?
Exactly. And with that, thank you so much, Kendra, for being on the show. I so enjoyed you. Definitely follow Kendra. I'm going to put that up on my page, and I will be following you as well.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be cyber stalking you now. Like, what is she doing next? What is she doing? Anthony, what is Kendra doing?
And don't forget, I forgot to tell you about Blue's hackathon that they're having with The Source. It's in downtown Brooklyn. So if you go on the Blue website, they're actually going to be talking about The Source and using technology to actually do the music that they do. So The Source is teaming up with them in downtown Brooklyn on the 10th.
On the 10th.
Starts at 9 a.m.
Wait, August 10th?
August 10th. This is
that's this week.
Thursday. This Thursday. But it's The Source.
Yeah.
But
Make
it's The
some
Source.
time.
Make
Speaking
some
of
time.
segues,
Exactly. How did you know, Anthony? Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Kendra. Because next we're gonna go to just a short break, and then I'm going to bring on Marques Deleon and producer Dan. I don't even know what to call him. I'm gonna call him producer Dan. And they're going to enlighten us a little bit about their music and how they created, and maybe we'll play their song. So thank you so much, Kendra. I've completely enjoyed
Thank you. It's awesome being here.
I love it. So stick around. After the break, we'll come back with Marques and Dan. But for now, let's play a little Lady Gaga, The Cure. Hey, 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 and we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM. I am Tia Shashaha, your host of Millennial High. And Kendra was amazing, right?
Yes.
She was so awesome. And I don't know if you heard, for everyone out there who has time, on Thursday, but her organization and The Source magazine, she was talking about The Source magazine, they have a hackathon in Brooklyn on Thursday, and I guess it's for just how they create their music and how you create music this day and age. So this leads me into my next guest. This is my Trendsetter segment where I highlight yeah, you guys are. Stop playing.
Thank you.
The Trendsetters, Marques, and I have Daniel, or Dan. What do you like to be called?
Dan. I'm going with Dan, yeah.
Okay. So Marques and Dan, and we are going to have some fun and talk about your music, what brought you into, or just why music, you know? So let's just start out with Marques. Marques, you are up. So talk to me a little bit. I know that you are an unsigned songwriter, you're a rapper, musician. You play the guitar, self-taught, right?
Not entirely.
Not entirely. Hey, you cheated.
YouTube,
I thought
YouTube helped a lot.
I always thought you were self-taught. No, but that's fine because I've been watching so many YouTube videos and I have like DVD. I have so much like how to play the guitar, like, and I still don't play it, and I still haven't learned.
Well, like the thing I like to do is listen to a song and learn how to play it by ear, but I also look at the tabs as well.
Oh, you do look at the tabs?
Yeah. It makes things a lot easier.
So I need tricks like that. I definitely need tricks like that. So why music for you? So how did you fall in love with music?
Well, I guess since I was a kid, I don't know, in kindergarten I wrote I wanted to be a singer. But I'm not the best singer, so I had to find some other thing to do.
Which is weird, because he sings in this song, the song that that we're doing, Count on Me. He sings in it, which is weird that he says that. But, you know, every singer, you know, says, like, I can't sing or whatever. But he's good at it.
But, yeah, and, like, when I heard it, I'm like, okay, so Jimi Hendrix, I don't know if you ever saw any of, like, old Jimi Hendrix.
All of it.
All of it, right? And he always says it. He's like, I'm not a singer, but, you know, here I am, you know? So I kind of find, like, you have a voice and you use your voice well, right? Okay.
Thank you.
So talk to me. Continue. And what about you, Dan?
I started music. It was weird. I remember exactly the first song I liked, and it was a Backstreet Boys song. And I was in a car, and I listened to the song, and I was like, God, this song is amazing. And then I asked if you could play it again, but obviously it was on a radio, so, you know, I couldn't do that. And just everybody in the car laughed at me. But it was nice. It was a good experience. And
which Backstreet Boys song? Because Backstreet Boys, they were my favorite.
It was I Want It That Way, of course.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song.
I used to love the Backstreet Boys back in the day. So then do you rap and write too, or you just produce the tracks?
I mainly just produce the tracks. See, I'm too scared to actually go on a mic and, you know, start rapping or whatever. People that do that, I have to give it to them. To be able to just go on a mic and sing or rap it's a really emotional thing, and I personally just don't have all that emotion to give out that people do. You know,
you can like channel that day that you heard the Backstreet Boys and your disappointment that they couldn't replay the song, right? You just channel that emotion, and you're just like, no, I'm joking. So I want to play. So talk about Count On. Count on Me. Count on Me.
It's a song we kind of made less than a month ago, I'd say. Like, it's a random song, but I heard Daniel messing around with the MPC, so I started writing to it. And the song's pretty much about, the lyrics were written in high school, actually. I was starting to listen to more Beatles and old school hip hop, such as Tribe Called Quest and Mos Def and rappers like that, and Nas, and getting really deep into lyrics. And I don't know, one day my English teacher, Miss Cramney, told me to write a poem.
Yeah.
Like, every day we had to write poems and such. And she told me everything was really too happy or something like that, and I had to, like, alter it.
What?
No, because
you're not depressed enough for this class.
we were reading Edgar Allan Poe at the time.
Oh God, yeah, you can't be happy with Poe.
Yeah, that he's something else.
He's dark.
So yeah, I wrote that first verse, and I realized how dark it was, so I had to write a second verse to it as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love the song. The song's pretty much about never giving up on love and never giving up on what you believe in.
Yeah. All right, so I want to play it. So let's play Count On. I'm going to fade this out and then come in. Look how long it lasts, how long the path, yeah, how long the cure. I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to replay the song. It started mixing with my track. Remix already. All right, so did you?
Yeah.
With the little Nina Simone, right? So let's do that again. Count on Me, Junk Files.
Everyone wants the cash, sacrifice anyone's past, bound for their stash. Look how long it lasts, how long the path, yeah, how long the cure, how long the cure, cure. I'm making cash, but I live in need, oh God. Don't just see you Sunday, I make it to that altar Sunday. You count on me, I say that you count on me, I say that you count on me, I say that you count on me, yeah. Frail, life seems to be never to be revealed. Crawling millions of years along a fall trail. Try running through the smoke to the end to comprehend and mean that those efforts will fail. So bail, we lack control yet crave more than bail. Construct our ceiling rather than floor than bail. Solving for the problems we ignore. Regret, neglect, simultaneously adding more. So I bail now while you running away from the clouds. They follow you even when you're 6 feet on the ground. The unknown has no bounds. Possibilities of inevitabilities are killing me. Surreal to me, that's why I question everything. Will we ever figure out what we amount to anything? Why is everything illusionary? Thin twilight zone, why is everything bold? Dense in the limelight, it's the future, present tense of hindsight. Deja vu leaves me confused on that insight. Like sun, moon, shadow effects in day night. Purgatory thoughts in my key cost stalagmites. I'm making cash, but I'm living need, oh God. Don't just see you Sunday, I make it to that altar someday. You count on me, I say that you count on me, I say that you count on me, I say that you count on me, I do this all day, so I gotta come correct. From the chest, nothing less, till I die, nothing's left. Here it is, boys, don't know what this is. I feel the cup real high, hit the trenches. If the type that runs your pockets heard this, it wouldn't change a thing, never lose focus. Every obstacle was dropped right on us, not just you, all around the world join us. I'm not wondering why, I know you know that time is a blink of an eye. Don't mess with me, seriously, walk on by. Hit it every day, we record the rhymes. This year's the truest blue flame in summer. Light it up on the track right below the runners. Crumble, can't stumble, feeling like that boy George in the jungle. So high, man, everything's a mumble. Oh man, I'm feeling like a Mongol. Savage, oh yeah, so savage. And you people don't know what time it is, hey. And everybody wants the cash, sacrifice anyone's past, bound for their stash. Look how long it lasts, how long the path, how long to cure, how long to cure. Cure, I'm making cash, but I live in need, oh God. Don't just see you Sunday, I make it to that altar someday. Count on me, I see that you 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 count on me, hey. I know that you're down on me, hey. I know that you're down on me, hey. I know that you're down on me. You're never gonna smile for me.
And we are back. That was Count on Me by Junk Files. And we have them in the studio. I really love that track, though. I'm not going to lie. The more I listen to it, I'm like, oh, I really like the vibe of it. It's so laid back and like chill.
Yeah, it's kind of like a reggae rap type of thing.
Yes, because I felt like at a point, like when you're singing like the hook, I'm like, is he gonna like start, breaking into reggae or something? I don't know, breaking in. I was like, listen, but I love it. So let's talk about the production of it, because I know this is what I said, but I just want to be clear, because when I talked to you, Marques, I was like, listen, you said that a lot of the songs that you two do, you create some of the beat on your iPhone. Some of it are not at all.
I was messing around with my phone.
Oh, you're messing around
making
with
beats
your
myself.
phone and making beats yourself.
But most of the beats are from an MPC and Pro
Oh,
Tools.
I see. Okay, awesome. So talk to me about so you came up with a beat for this, Dan?
Yes, so I was just messing around with those two guitars that you can hear, and we just played them over and over again, and Marcus was like, I like that. And I was like, all right, I'll just keep that. And then from there, just add on the bass or the drums or something like that until he, feels as though it's done and he has all the rhythms there. And then, from there, he just writes his words and he makes the music, which is really nice. It's really easy with Marcus because he already knows. With some people, there's like they don't really know how to communicate music-wise, but since he plays the guitar and everything, it's really easy
Right.
for him just to say, like, I want the guitar to sound like this, or I want the guitar not to do this or that, or the bass or whatever. So it's really easy to make songs.
I've always wanted to produce, but I'm like a Stone Age type of person when it comes to technology. I literally can't do it. I know it.
Oh my
So
god.
I just stick to my lane.
So then, all right. So what else are you guys doing? Because I know you have a SoundCloud, right?
Yes.
What is it called?
It's called Junk Files.
So Junk Files SoundCloud, and I know I listened to almost every track on there, and I was like, Marcus, who's making these beats though? Like, I really like it.
They're
and it's
good.
you, right?
Yes, it is, yes.
And it's good. I think they're really good. So, like,
Thank you.
how do you get inspired to start? Like, do you hear something in your head, or how does it happen?
So usually it's just like I'll use the MPC and make a sound, and I'm like, oh, I really, really like that sound. And then, one of the people are around a house, or in the house or whatever, be like, oh, you should keep doing that, and just, I work from there. Like, there's a song called Blessings that's on Junk Files. That's my favorite song on there, and it just sounds amazing. And that came out of nowhere, just my friend John just sent me a random audio file, and I was like, wow, it sounds really killer. We should use that. And just from there, it made one of the best songs I've ever made.
Nice. So then, what about performing? Do you guys ever get on stage?
I used to perform quite often, and I'm looking to do that again. But at the moment, no, we're not performing.
What about like open mics? I mean, you have like original music. Do you ever think to go to different open mics around the city?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so I think that's a great idea. I think there's one that's almost every Monday, unless it's like a ticketed event, and I'll tell you guys about. I think you already know about the one I'm gonna say.
On 23rd and
Yeah,
Walnut.
exactly.
Yeah, I like that place.
Yeah, so why don't you go? I mean, that should be like your spot. I mean, until you get, and then that's how people, notice
My thing
you.
was like I always wanted to progress, and
Okay.
I felt as if I didn't have
Truth.
a product that I was comfortable in showing people, I shouldn't perform it. And
But-
now I'm at a place in time where I think it's time.
He's an artist, so it's one of those things where, like he's really critical about his work, but his work has always been like, I've known this guy since high school, and he's always been the best rapper at Kappa. The whole time I was going there, the best rapper. Everybody would, gather around in a circle. We would have a cipher, and they would all wait for
Okay,
Marcus's
okay.
part to go on, and he's just at that point where every good artist is, where they're like, this isn't good, picking out the little details, but,
being super critical.
Correct.
But
Of
also
course.
tired of waiting, so I'm done.
Yeah, but like my previous guest said, sometimes you just gotta just go out there and do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Exactly.
even if you don't think it's your perfect piece, you just put it out there, and someone else will vibe with it and think it's perfect for them. Like that's what you're missing. Like when you're talented and you're creative and you have a voice and something, like either you Dan with your beats, you Marcus with your lyrics, like you have an obligation almost to go out there and
True.
give it and let the world hear it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Done. So with that being said, Junk Files, find them on SoundCloud. If you liked what you heard, book them for a show, who knows. So I just want to thank all my listeners out there. I always have so much fun on the show. Like I said before, Maddie, thank you so much for that message you sent me today. I thought it was amazing. And thank you for everyone who always listens. Till the next time. Like I have this thing that me and my daughter created. We say stay lit, right? But
Stay
it means
lit.
love inspired and true. All right. So until
your
next
own
time,
acronym.
exactly. Until next time, I believe in you. I will play a little Prince. Like I want to hear Prince right now.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
God,
That
great
reminded me
guitarist.
of Prince. We'll do Hard Rock Lover. Bye.